when it comes to the dark arts. I believe in a practical approach. Avada Kedavra! End of story. Goodbye, the end.
Ah, the 3 unforgivable curses. We all know them. Professor Fake Moody taught us well, both in the books and also in the movies. The 3 of them are very powerful spells, yes, and they all make an impact, a significant impact, on the Harry Potter universe world building, of course. But I am here to make a case on how the Imperius Curse particularly is just better written than the other 2. Much better written. Shall we begin? Imagination is mysterious, but even if we can't fully understand it, we can give our imagination a fertile environment. Humanity has experimented for millennia. We know how to get the creative juices flowing. Have you ever heard of the blank page panic? It's when a writer sits down to make some great art and there's a blank page there and nothing happens for hours, for days. It's hard. It's really hard when you have all the possibilities in the world in front of you. Will you write a poem or a sci-fi novel or a DVD player manual? It can be anything, and anything is hard. Infinite possibilities, they paralyze people. So how do writers write anything? After all, they must start with the blank page, right? Yeah, they do have the blank page, of course, but they also have an idea, a guiding light. I'm not just gonna sit down and write anything. I'm gonna write, let's say, a short story about a romance in the Stone Age. Bam! Much easier for my brain to put something together now. There's enough room there that infinite stories could be written using that same prompt, but also enough limitations so that our imagination can flourish. All of that was just to explain how magic systems are really good at stimulating our imagination, as readers too, not only as writers. The magic is a novel element. It's something fresh that we don't experience in other parts of our lives, so our minds are stimulated by it. But it's also not infinite. Even when we don't fully understand the limitations of a magic system, just like in Harry Potter, we know it has limitations, has rules. It's a system we can tap into. If you read Harry Potter, you will imagine yourself as a wizard. You will picture the brooms and wands and Latin words, even though your brain is perfectly capable of imagining magic without those limiting elements. In the same way, if you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, you will imagine yourself as a bender, and maybe you will think about elements that the series doesn't really explore, like wood or sound, but you will always picture that particular kind of telekinesis associated with kung fu choreographies. We like the limitations, we actually enjoy them. You've been given a system with enough space so that infinite stories can come from there, but enough constraints so that your imagination is not lost, is sort of guided. We can't help but wonder, even as readers. And you see many characters interacting with that magic and that world in different ways. In a way, those many characters, they allow you to believe that if you were there, you would also have your own take on the whole thing. All of them have access to more or less the same toolbox, but they're different people, so how do they use them? Professor Lockhart uses his memory spell to boost his fame, impersonating the people he obliviates. Hermione uses the exact same spell to protect her muggle family. Fred and George create their joke products to provoke laughter and glee, but when the Ministry of Magic realizes that some of those products actually have practical defensive applications, they start to order and give the products to their Aurors. Again, it's the same tool, just approached from different perspectives, which of course, begs the question, what would you do with those same tools? What would you look for in the Hogwarts library? How would you use a broom? What would you summon with the Accio spell? The same toolbox you got used to. But now it's yours. Okay, that was enough context. Now, let's talk about the unforgivable curses. Avada Kedavra, it's the end, the death of everything I just pointed out to you. It's a spell that no matter who uses it, being Lord Voldemort, or Neville Longbottom, or Katara, or you, it always does the exact same thing. Die potato, bleh. Your personality, your creativity, irrelevant. Crucio is more or less the same. I mean, yes, there is the scene when Bellatrix Lestrange lectures Harry on how to channel his hatred like a Sith and explains to him why his own Crucio curse was not that powerful. So that's better than the killing curse, at least there's some variation. But still, it's just the physical sensation of pain. Imagine if Crucio was instead something like Ikki's Phoenix Illusion Demon Fist. Oh, it's just such great naming. Superb naming. It's a special punch that can craft a dreadful hallucination, a nightmare in the mind of your opponent. And just picture how much creative horizon we have here. Now, knowing your enemies super well is a big advantage because you can tap into their own personal traumas for maximum effect. And sometimes when your enemy does something to you, you realize what are their fears, so you can turn those fears against them. But no, Crucio is just pain. And it's not even associated with those gruesome torture machines that at least look interesting. It's just somebody having a seizure every single time. But then we get to the Imperius curse. All the creativity that was completely lost in the last two curses, it's right here. Death and pain are similar for everyone, but mind controlling asks you the question, what would you do with that mind? This is a prompt open enough to create infinite stories, but limited enough to stimulate the imagination. Would you spy? Would you make the person commit a crime? Which crime? Would you punish a horrible person? Would you break a relationship in a way that it didn't look like you were involved? Would you break an abusive relationship in the same way? It is such a great creative idea, and we see J.K. Rowling using it super well. I mean, I was not ready for the whole Crouch using an unforgivable curse thing, but you know, even with good intentions, he is a very controlling character dealing with a very extreme situation, so it fits. Even the fact that Lucius Malfoy claims that he had been under the influence of the curse instead of actually loyal to Lord Voldemort, even that is a pretty creative use of world building, of this particular world building piece. There's no casting spells this time, but the spell is used psychologically. That's good writing right there. We even see the protagonist trio using the curse, and even if it's an unforgivable curse, we forgive them. We see they're using in a way that's not life-shattering, very different from the way Voldemort would use it. It's powerful, it's useful in a myriad of ways, and depending on your personality and your motives, you would choose to use Imperio in very different ways. That's why Imperio is the better written of the three curses. Thanks very much for watching this video. It's the first time I talk about Harry Potter in this channel. I am such a huge fan, and I am not alone. So it was just a blast to put it here for the first time. Let me know what you think. I've been struggling a bit with making one video a week like I've been doing right now, because I've been a little financially hit in the past month. I'm gonna do my best, I'm gonna try, but if you want to support this journey, the best way is via my Patreon page, which is just the financial excuse I need to make more videos. I'm really enjoying this YouTube channel, it's a new thing. just started a couple of months ago, but I'm really having a blast and I would love to make more and more videos. That's it. Talking about Harry Potter makes me so happy. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.